The camera fades in on a sunlit garden outside a massive mansion. Birds chirp faintly in the background, but the viewer's attention is immediately drawn to a frail little boy sitting in a wheelchair, eyes sparkling despite his immobility. Beside him kneels a young woman in a simple uniform, gently spoon-feeding him breakfast, a soft smile gracing her face. And in the distance, behind a tall glass window, stands a man in a crisp suit, arms crossed, silently watching. That man is Adam Lancaster, billionaire, entrepreneur, and a father whose life is about to be changed forever by an act of quiet love he never expected to witness. Before we take you on this emotional ride, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Pure Kindness Stories, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an inspiring story that reminds us how a single act of kindness can change lives. Adam Lancaster was a name people whispered with reverence. Tech empire founder, Forbes regular, and a man with everything money could buy, except time. Especially not the time he had lost with his 8-year-old son, Ethan, who had been born with cerebral palsy. Since the tragic car accident that claimed his wife's life 3 years ago, Adam had buried himself in work. Though Ethan was left physically disabled, his mind was alert, curious, and hungry for love, love that had been replaced by nannies, doctors, and cold routine. Enter Maria. A 26-year-old maid from the outskirts of the city, hired through an agency, one of the many faces that came and went in the Lancaster estate. But Maria was different. She didn't flinch at Ethan's disabilities. She didn't clock out the moment her hours ended. She didn't simply do her job, she connected. And the little boy, who rarely smiled or responded to strangers, had begun to light up in her presence. At first, Adam didn't notice. His days were filled with meetings, calls, boardrooms, and private jets. But one morning, running late for a video call, he walked past the nursery and saw something that made him pause. Maria was on the floor with Ethan, feeding him oatmeal and laughing as he attempted to mimic her words. Ethan's hand trembled as he tried to hold a spoon, and Maria guided him patiently, clapping as he got even a drop of food into his mouth. Adam stood there, invisible, struck by the warmth radiating from the scene. He started observing more. Maria reading to Ethan in the garden. Singing lullabies at night. Taking the wheelchair-bound boy on slow strolls under the trees, telling him stories of stars and planets and animals. She didn't treat him as broken or less. She treated him like a child who deserved love and wonder. But this connection didn't come without pain. Maria had a past of her own. Orphaned at 12, she'd raised her younger brother while juggling jobs. She knew the feeling of being invisible. Of being underestimated. Of needing someone, anyone, to believe in you. She saw those same lonely eyes in Ethan and couldn't look away. One day, when Maria brought Ethan to a local park, a group of kids stared and whispered. Ethan grew silent, his tiny hands gripping the arms of his wheelchair. Maria knelt beside him, whispered something in his ear, and suddenly Ethan smiled and nodded. She wheeled him over to the other kids and introduced him. Her voice was calm but firm. This is Ethan. He's smart, funny, and just like you, only his legs don't work like yours. But his heart? That works just fine. Later that night, Adam watched the security footage. He was reviewing it out of habit, for safety. But when he saw what Maria had done, he felt something shift inside him. A weight. A realization. He had spent so much on therapies, treatments, and the best equipment. But what his son needed most wasn't luxury. It was human connection. Compassion. Consistency. Maria had given Ethan more in 2 months than he had in 2 years. That night, Adam made time for dinner with Ethan for the first time in months. Maria brought the meal in, and was about to leave quietly when Ethan called out, "Stay, please." Maria froze. So did Adam. It was the first time Ethan had spoken during a mealtime in a long while. Adam looked at her, then nodded. She sat beside Ethan, and Adam across from them. It was awkward at first, silent, like trying to remember how to breathe. But then Maria cracked a joke, Ethan giggled, and slowly, the ice began to thaw. The next few weeks brought more changes. Adam started working from home 2 days a week. He joined Maria and Ethan on their morning walks. He read to Ethan at night when Maria encouraged him to try. He listened as Maria explained small victories, Ethan lifting a cup without help, pronouncing a new word, responding to music. Adam began to feel something foreign, something he hadn't allowed in for a long time, hope. But not everyone appreciated Maria's presence. One senior housekeeper, jealous of Maria's growing influence, began spreading rumors. That Maria was manipulating Adam. That she was after money. One day, these rumors reached Adam's sister, who confronted him during a family gathering. The confrontation was loud, and Ethan heard it all. That night, he refused to eat. He turned his face away from Maria and Adam alike. Maria quietly packed her few belongings and left without saying goodbye. She didn't want to create more chaos in Ethan's already fragile world. But her absence was like winter settling over the house. Ethan cried for her. Adam tried everything, toys, therapists, distractions, but nothing worked. His son had lost his light. Desperate, Adam searched for her. It took him 4 days to track Maria down to a small shelter where she was volunteering and living temporarily. When he arrived, she was serving soup to a line of homeless families. Her eyes met his, surprised but unreadable. "I trusted you," she said quietly, as he approached. "I failed you," Adam admitted, voice trembling. "I failed my son, too." He knelt in front of her, in that crowded hall, unashamed. "I didn't just hire a maid. I met an angel. You saved my son's heart, Maria. Please come back." The people around them watched in stunned silence. Maria's eyes welled with tears. She nodded. When she returned, Ethan clung to her like he would never let go again. Adam didn't stop there. He did more than just reinstate Maria. He paid for her to go to college in the evenings to pursue her dream of becoming a special needs teacher. He made her part of the family, not in name, but in spirit. And when, 2 years later, Ethan took his first assisted step across the living room floor, it was Maria on one side and Adam on the other, both holding his hands. Today, Maria runs a therapy center for children with disabilities, fully funded by the Lancaster Foundation. Adam sits on the board, but he always introduces her as the founder, the heart behind the mission. And Ethan? He's 10 now. He still uses his wheelchair often, but he paints, reads, and speaks with more confidence than ever before. His favorite bedtime story isn't a fairy tale. It's the story of how his angel came into his life, how kindness broke through a wall even money couldn't. So, if you're still watching, remember, sometimes the biggest change begins with the smallest act of love. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Pure Kindness Stories, and share it with someone who believes in the power of compassion. Kindness is not weakness. It's the strongest force we have. And as Maria would say, love doesn't cost a thing, but it can change everything.